Hello everyone, welcome to NGS Season 11, Division C West, here to cast Roll1Esports versus Cool Cats and Kittens. And tonight I have CoffeeClubTV joining me. Coffee, how are you doing? Maybe I have Coffee joining me? We're having a bunch of technical difficulties, so we might have lost him somewhere in the mess of issues here. But hopefully he'll be around here soon. We're going to go ahead and jump on over to those map selections and let you know what the rundown of how this all played out. But the coin toss was won by Roll1Esports tonight. They're opted to go with first pick here, giving map pick over to the side of Cool Cats and Kittens. Those map bans coming out tonight: Cursed Hollow and Infernal Shrines banned out by Roll1Esports. Alterac Pass and Dragonshire banned out by Cool Cats and Kittens here. We are going to start this evening off on Garden of Terror. This one, a map pick out from Cool Cats and Kittens. There we go. Coffee's here.
Hey, sorry about that. I'm doing great. How about you, Jazzy? How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. I'm glad we got your mic at least working now.
Jeez.
They are all ready to go into this draft here, so I'm letting them know we're ready now.
Okay.
Given the rundown of all those map selections here. But yeah, Garden of Terror. What's your thoughts on this one, Coffee?
I haven't played this map and seen it in a while. I'm excited to see some Garden of Terror. But I think my initial thought process here is maybe we get to see some like interrupt heroes, like, you know, Chromie and Junkrat kind of interrupting, you know, channeling on the point and stuff. But I think Garden of Terror is always fun to watch. I'm excited to see what these guys play.
It's definitely not the most popular map to go to in NGS from my experience, or just even outside of NGS. But it makes me think maybe Cool Cats and Kittens has some kind of strategy in mind, or they're just gonna have a really good macro game or something.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
All right, to kick it off, we're gonna have that Hanzo ban out from the side of Roll1Esports here. Is there anything you particularly would like to see these teams pick up on Garden of Terror?
You know, I mean, I think that, I was just thinking before, like, I think interrupting the objective is good. Like, sometimes if you just have a really annoying hero to interrupt these channels on the objective, then the entire rest of your team can just be pushing like a lane. This is one of those maps where it's so easy to kind of ignore the objective almost and just, you know, and just push. So if you have a super annoying poke hero that's interrupting all those channels, like Chromie or Junkrat, then it really starts to cause problems, I think, for the enemy team.
We're going to see Sonya getting picked up here for Roll1Esports to kick off the draft. She's been pretty popular right now in the meta. The W build, especially on Sonya, pretty strong right now, and she's an excellent grab here for just having that control for camps.
The Johanna Lily going to be picked up on the side of Cool Cats.
Now, Lily got some nice buffs in the last patch everybody's been excited about.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was playing some games yesterday, and Kybears was playing a lot of Lily, like running full snake build, and just kind of insane. Like, the hero does really well now, and whereas I never used to see her, I'm excited to see what she does here. And Roll1 is going to follow that up with the Cassia Artanis.
I really like the Cassia pickup here for them, because if Cool Cats and Kittens plays the Cassia, it would have paired so well with a Lily and a Joanna already on your team. You still need that kind of sustained damage over there, and she's still pretty popular regardless of some of the nerfs we've seen to her. She still is kind of prioritized in a lot of drafts.
Yeah, I think she's just a consistent damage hero. It's hard to counter. I mean, obviously the counter to her is like stuns and things to keep her avoidance, or like roots to keep her avoidance down. But just the consistency that Cassia brings to a team fight, I think is pretty unparalleled. I mean, there's a lot of other auto attack heroes, but I think she kind of is up there in terms of her value for a team fight. I do see people going the not charge strikes, but the Q build on Cassie a lot more these days too, and treating her like a mage, which is fun to see. That's not particularly the way I usually run her, but it probably depends on the enemy team comp, I imagine.
Yeah, that Thunderstroke at level 1 is usually the pickup you see on Cassia, but I don't find that's where a lot of her burst comes from. It's still that Surge of Light just popping off. Going in with like your E and Surge of Lighting them is where she gets a ton of her burst from. You see that Lost Vikings band coming out here from Roll1Esports, and now Cool Cats and Kittens looking to lock in the next couple things of their draft.
It is a really great Lost Vikings map. I mean, talk about like soaking all the lanes while you just poke the objective forever. And then there's going to be a Falstad pickup and a Kael'thas. So Falstad got some big changes in the patch. Looked like making that like boomerang like baseline among other things. This will be really fun to see.
Yeah, Falstad was bugged up until today and banned out of NGS play because his level 1 quest on his W was stacking on everything when it's supposed to just stack on heroes. But regardless of that, if you get your stacks done fast enough on Falstad, you can solo bosses now as soon as you hit 13 and get the upgrade damage for your W. So it's pretty insane. I mean, it'll be a lot harder now to get your stacks on that now that they fixed it and it's only stacking on heroes. But just an interesting little tidbit there that Falstad can solo bosses past 13 if he's semi-stacked.
I kind of like that because they took away Wingman, which is like a big kind of like PvE component to Falstad that he was always able to do, like just steal camps and stuff. So having the danger of, you know, the threat of him stealing a boss, I think brings him, you know, brings some of that danger back. I think that's cool.
Yeah, definitely really unique though to allow a squishy ranged assassin to solo bosses though.
I don't know if it's intentional or not, but I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, ready to get into game number 1 here between Roll1Esports and Cool Cats and Kittens. Is there a draft you're favoring here? Is there one that you're thinking this is the winning comp?
Not really. I mean, I think it depends on. It might come down to like how valid these healers are in this current meta. You know, I honestly haven't seen a ton of Malfurion these days. I know Malf struggles with a lot of burst damage, but you know, on the side of Cool Cats, you know, Kael'thas is like that bomb spread kind of slow kind of rot, and Malf is pretty good against that. I honestly, I think I like both comps. I'm excited to see him clash and see what happens.
And Malfurion also got touched in this last patch. He has a couple changes in his talents as well. So I'm kind of interested to see what we're going to see him pick up at level 1 here. Still hasn't quite locked in that talent, but let's get into introducing these teams. On the left-hand side, we have Roll1Esports with Big Beard on the Tassadar, Wannabe playing the Malfurion, Poe playing Cassia, Rock Your World on the Mei, and on the Sonya, Zad.
And on the red hand side, we have Cool Cats and Kittens. We've got Beowulf on the Falstad, Descolada on Kael'thas, Crazy for Hirano on Diva, Horvath on Johanna, and Lubidium on Lily.
All right, so Malfurion did talent into one of those new talents there at the level 1 with the sleep after the root. So as soon as you're rooted, you're going to be slept as well after the root falls off for, I think it's 2 seconds. So it's a lot of time you're just kind of CC'd from Malfurion. I was actually playing Malfurion with a Cassia in ARAMs the other day, and the amount of damage Cassia can just drop on somebody getting rooted and then the sleep follow-up, you're in a lot of trouble there if you're caught out of position.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they try anything like that. It'll probably be relatively simple to land that sort of a combo with the Mei just slowing everyone.
Yeah.
A lot easier to land those roots.
Yeah, a lot of nice synergy with the roots and slows and Blizzard from Mei there that are also going to pair well. Even if it's going to be Malfurion that lands the root first. Oh, we are going to see Falstad fall there, getting picked off in the mid. But even if it's Malfurion that lands the roost first, because that sleep comes off afterwards, you can kind of have that, you know, if you land it a little bit early, there's a little bit more time there for your team to close the distance because they're going to be slept for an additional 2 seconds afterwards.
It looks like Johanna scouting out these Siege Giants here. He's going to back off.
Chat's making a good point here. The sleep root's really good against Diva. She pops out of her mech, you throw that root down there, and then she's slept as well, so she can't get right back in after a mech explosion. Here we see both siege camps getting picked up here. Roll1Esports and Cool Cats and Kittens getting those siege camps out in the mid. That bottom siege camp was also picked up for Cool Cats and Kittens, and this first objective is going to be spawning over on the side of Cool Cats and Kittens in the bottom lane here.
Yeah, Roll1 trying to get this bruiser out now, right before this objective spawn. I think this is a good play, but it does allow Cool Cats to get the kind of a perfect setup, and the objective is spawning on their side. I almost wonder if Roll1 just kind of gives this, or maybe just pokes it while Sonya gets soaked elsewhere. No, they are going to end up going for it.
Joanna kind of set up in the bush there, looking to catch them on the flank. The Condemn comes out. Here comes the snow, or the blizzard from May, and Cassia going to follow up on that to get the pick onto Kael'thas. Does look like Falstad is looking to back out, and for now, Cool Cats and Kittens in a position just to give this. D.Va is above here, looking to potentially stall it out. But with Kael'thas down for the moment, I think this one is just going to go over to the side of Roll1Esports.
Yeah, really good timing on that bruiser camp as well there. You know, especially with the pick on Kael'thas and that bruiser camp pushing that bottom lane. They really had the advantage. Roll1 did, and Cool Cats didn't really have much of an option there except to just kind of give that and clear that camp bottom.
May taking a bit of damage from Falstad here. Falstad did talent into Dishonorable Discharge at level 1, so looking to get those stacks on his Lightning Rod. Currently sitting at 6 stacks, so, you know, they're scaling.
Scaling. We scale these.
To have that next objective coming up in about 20 seconds. Top side this time on Roll1Esports side of the map here. They're going to grab the Siege Giant camp at the top lane as well. Looks like Falstad is trying to finish off that Bruiser camp, and here's the invade from Roll1Esports. The Blizzard comes out, so does the Root.
It, really. Yeah, he had just started as the objective was like 10 seconds away from spawning. I don't know.
Do what must be done.
He took a lot of damage to the Bruiser camp there, and Roll1 is just going to kind of back off and try to grab the objective. Looks like Cool Cats is going to finish up this Bruiser camp, but they are going to give that objective up there. Absolutely.
I love, too, that May came in and just tanked all the little minions around objectives so they could have a couple people channeling. So even if one did get interrupted and they tried to stall it out, the other was still channeling to secure that. We do see Kael'thas and Lily starting up that bottom Siege Giant camp. But right now, 2 seeds picked up over on the side of Roll1Esports. So if they can secure this next objective, this will be Garden Terrors in favor of them.
Yeah, Cool Cats and Kittens, you know, maybe down objective-wise here, but they're really in line with the XP here. So as long as they can keep the talents here equal, they have a good chance of winning the next objective and potentially stopping this Garden Terror phase.
They did just force the Sonya to have to tap as well, so she's not going to have that reset to go back for an engage over this next objective. There's this chance, too, that maybe Roll1Esports just, if they're not quite in the right position to take this, just let Cool Cats and Kittens have this one. But they are kind of positioning aggressively here, looking for that rotation onto Kael'thas. I'm not sure they know Joanna is in that bush right behind them. That might be a bit of a bad position for Joanna to be in.
Here we go. Big condemn coming out from Johanna here. Lily might be... Okay. Well, Falstad flew over the wall here. D.Va Bomb is out. Johanna still trying to pull him back into the D.Va Bomb. Not going to quite make it. D.Va's back in the mech. Trying to take out the Sonya, and Sonya is going to fall. Johanna also low here. Can they get her? Johanna is next.
A 1-for-1 so far.
Trade. Good team fight. Looks like Cool Cats are going to be able to pick up this objective here. Oh no, Tassadar interrupted it, but just barely. Level 10s are picked up on the side of Cool Cats here, and now the tables have turned. Falstad in the back lane going to be able to pick up the objective. Okay. Yeah, a really good job, Roll20, recognizing that the level 10s were online just slightly sooner for Cool Cats, and they backed off of that there.
Cool Cats and Kittens able to deny that Garden Terror pickup here for Roll1Esports. Level 10's online. Fairly decent trade there. They trade Joanna for a kill onto Roll1Esports, so manage up the garden, or the seed, I should say. They're going to go ahead and lock in those Siege Giant camps. Those are going to push mid. We also have Roll1Esports Siege Giants there. They're going to crash in the lane, kind of even out a bit. does look like Roll1Esports is going to try to pick up this bottom bruiser camp as well. It's going to put them a little bit late to this objective, and there's a chance they might just end up giving this one because of that, with all 4 members down here. But hopefully they trade and try to find value elsewhere if they do give this. I'd like to just see them push with this bottom bruiser camp at this point, because they just don't have the time to rotate up there and contest it. And that's exactly what it looks like they're going to do.
Yep, Falstad flying bottom now to try to defend against this massive push going on here by Roll1. Johanna coming in behind them looking for a condemn. There's going to be a little bit of a team fight here. Roll1 does not have Sonya, so this is a 4v5 right now. And Tassadar is going to fall. The jugs are out from the Lily, just healing her little heart out, throwing T left and right. And Roll1 is going to have to run for their lives here.
The seed is sprouting. The anticipation.
Yeah, unfortunately, you know, having jugs over on the side of Cool Cats and Kittens, there's not a lot for Roll1Esports to do to interrupt that. Malfurion has picked up Twilight Dream, so if Malfurion can get into position to interrupt it and silence it, that could work. But in terms of just like easy CC to land to stop her from that, you know, you're gonna get her in a blizzard potentially. Get her in that ice wall, throw the blizzard on top of it to get the stun.
Shouldn't you be
But there's not just, it's not like when you have like a Joanna on your team where you can just throw out a Blessed Shield or a Condemn or so many other tanks that have just hard CC that can easily point and click to interrupt that jug. So it's a good pickup here for Lily for sure. This next objective will be Garden Terrors here. Tassadar getting in a bit of trouble here. He is going to fall. We have the Twilight Dream coming out from Malfurion. Fen connecting onto the Diva. The ice wall is going to connect onto 2 members here of Cool Cats and Kittens. Kael'thas getting really low. Looks like May has her eyes set on that Kael'thas, but here comes the jugs from Lily to keep everyone alive. Cassia goes in for the Fen once again, gets interrupted by the gravity lapse, but look at Malfurion trying to sneak in a turn there, but gets interrupted. The Rook is going to connect onto Lily here. There's the sleep afterwards.
Wow.
Little baby Diva just trying to get her mech back up. Very close, but her health bar is super low, so needs to watch her positioning. May going in for the interrupt once again onto this seed channel. Cassia going in for a Fen. Lily looking like she might be in a bit of trouble, gets knocked back, and she does go down. Joanna looking to retreat here, has no mana, no health left. But the Diva mech going to zone them out. There's the force wall down from Taz, and it looks like at this point, the members of Cool Cats and Kittens are on the retreat here, and Roll1Esports are going to start that channel. Diva is around to maybe get another interrupt, but no, this is going over to Roll1Esports.
Such a great play by Roll1 to keep that team fight going long enough for Tassadar to res. Tassadar got picked off so early in that fight. I thought that was for sure going to be an objective going over to Cool Cats and Kittens, but they managed to keep that team fight going, and they turned it around. It was awesome.
Does look like Malfurion maybe in a bit of trouble here. That Blessed Shield from Joanna coming out. The Root drop, though, to peel for them. She's going to use her Iron Skin to continue to chase him down. The Condemn's going to connect, and down goes Malfurion. Tassadar also kind of being bodied into this fight, but going to go invisible and walk on out of there. Cassia coming up to try and help out. But at this point, it looks like Cool Cats and Kittens is out of there, and they need to start to worry about clearing up top and bottom lane here.
Yeah, and as that team fight was going on, Falstad almost lost his life to the Sonya in top lane. Just really, really great push going on from Roll1 right now.
We are going to see Roll1Esports look to prioritize this mid fort now, as the top and bottom lane needs to be cleared out by Cool Cats and Kittens. They have a little bit of a window here to try and get some siege damage done in this mid. Rotation is coming out now from Cool Cats and Kittens, though. May is going to icing on out of here. Oh, hey, Paradox. How are you doing?
They do have families. So two forts down with that first Garden Terror phase. You know, it's been a while since I played Garden Terror, but is that normal, Jazzy, or was that just a really strong push on the side of Roll1?
I mean, Garden Terror is always one of those maps. Getting that first objective really can kind of start to snowball the map because it's so strong. I mean, it shuts down those forts while it's pushing. You know, like those maps you want to pick up a Sylvanas to push with objectives. Well, this map you don't even need it because there's just the seeds that are just going to root and shut down your forts and structures anyway. So it's not too unusual to see at least 1 or 2 forts go down here, if not more, in that
Sonya having
first
to
garden
leap
phase.
away right there, running for her life, but she is going to make it out. Got to get away from that 4-man gank. potential team fight happening in mid here, but Kael'thas is getting the Siege Giants. Doesn't look like they want to get too aggressive here. Cats and Kittens are going to back off, and Roll1 is going to rotate top. It looks like to clear up that camp. Yep, they're both just going to clear camps right now, it looks like. But Roll1 pushing mid as 3. Are they going to get that fort? No, they're going to back out of there as a subjective spawns. It looks like they want to get that last initial fort down, but they already have such a massive structure advantage here. Oh, we have a bush here potentially.
Ooh, false ad. Almost getting caught in a position. Barrel rolls out of there before the Blizzard connects. Joanna's coming in here. The Condemn comes out. She pops her Iron Skin. The Mech Explosion is also dropped by D.Va to kind of zone them out here. Kael'thas starting to rotate up and join the fight now. And the thing that's in favor here, Roll1Esports has that fort and fountain in the top lane to fall back to reset and get taps here. That's not an option for Cool Cats and Kittens. I do see Falsad clearing.
Falsad's going to have to clear that camp top, which means this is a 4v5 at least for now. The Phoenix is out here. D.Va's going to get broken out of the mech. It's not looking good. The cleanse is used, but D.Va's going to fall. Looks like they're setting their eyes on Johanna next. The jugs are going to be popped, but they're going to be too late. Not going to do anything. Kael'thas spreading those bombs around, but ultimately it's going to be an 0 for 2 trade going over to the side of Roll1. I think that was just kind of maybe a miscommunication. I think they were a little too aggressive while the Falstad was clearing the camp, potentially, Jazzy. What do you think happened there?
Yeah, no, I think you're right. They a little bit overcommitted for that objective there. Falstad was clearing the camp. Now, Falstad is global, but, he's probably not going to fly from not too far away. So just getting a little bit caught out down a player there for an objective they didn't necessarily need to contest. It sure would have been great if they could have grabbed it here, just to start to get some pressure on the map themselves, maybe take down some forts and structures. But unfortunately, it's going to cost them a 2 for nothing, and that seed will go over to the side of Roll1Esports. All in all, though, I will say Cool Cats and Kittens is doing a pretty fantastic job of keeping up on XP. They haven't really let Roll1 roll away with the game after that first Garden Terror. So there's still an opportunity here for them to grab Garden Terrors and turn this game in their favor.
Yep, absolutely. They're definitely not out of this. Very in line with XP here. But it looks like Johanna. Okay, Johanna's gonna have to pop her Unstoppable to get out of there. Yeah, they don't necessarily need this objective, but it is a good time to fight. Even talent tiers here. Sonya's taking a lot of damage. The Gust is used to push them away. I'm not sure what happened there.
That was actually a good gust because the Ice Wall went out and pushed the Mei away, so she wasn't able to drop her Blizzard on top of everyone. That would have had them stunned out of the Ice Wall there. So actually quite a great play, and it pinned them against the wall as well. The seed did go over to the side of Roll1Esports, but all in all, no members lost for Cool Cats and Kittens, and they're still keeping up on XP here. It's really just going to come down to this next fight and who can secure this next seed here to win the next objective.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe this next objective will spawn before either team hits 20. Yeah, it will. So this will kind of be a big fight here, probably the last time fighting on equal talent tiers, and certainly either team getting the objective will cause a Garden Terror phase.
I'd really like to see Cool Cats and Kittens kind of getting themselves into position for these objectives a little bit earlier, though, because it does seem every time a seed comes up, they're all a little bit straggling to get there, and it causes them to end up taking engages down members. And we're going to see now Roll1Esports, the seed is on their side of the map. They're going to catch Joanna here. Here comes a Force Wall. Gust to come out to disengage. She is getting that cleanse. But the leap coming out from Sonya. She's ready to lock them down here. Jugs doesn't get interrupted, though, so that's sitting out there. But a Kael'thas is going to get picked off by the Tacit there. There's the Ice Wall out from Mei. It's not going to hit anyone. Looks like the members of Cool Cats and Kittens just going to back off of this one. Get ready to play the defense here as Kael'thas is down for another 44 seconds.
They were in such a defensive position right off the bat. I know Johanna is obviously super tanky. If you want somebody to check a bush, it's obviously her. She has her trait. I think Lily used a cleanse after the trait, but still just so much health loss and missing on the Johanna. They were fighting down right off the bat there, and it took its toll in that team fight for sure.
Oh, Falstad getting rotated on now, trying to find value while his team was losing that objective, but it might cost him his life here. The root comes out. He did try to fly out of there, but it was interrupted because he knew he was going to get stunned by the blizzard there. So we are going to see him fall 55 seconds until he's back up, and level 20s are now online for the side of Roll1Esports. They're trying to get that counter kill onto Sonya. Interestingly enough, she went Crater at level 20 there.
Okay.
I find that sometimes hurts more than it helps when I'm playing Sonya, but we'll see if she can get some value out of that.
Yeah, it depends how she uses it, but obviously she's been using her leaps really strategically so far. I'm curious to see how that plays out for her. But right now, Roll1 just looking to snowball this game and end this close this game out right now, I think. Looking to get these keeps taken out. Falstad is still down, going to be down for another 20 seconds or so. Let's see what they can get done here.
Still think if Cool Cats and Kittens can hold off here, do a decent job defending. And there we go. They're going to find the pick onto Sonya right there. That's exactly what they need. Here comes a Jug out from Lily, the mech explosion, just to zone off and keep this mid keep alive. They still have to worry about that Garden Terror bottom, though, but they're going to go ahead and try to secure some more kills here. May popping her trait. Get herself healed up a bit. The root coming out in the blizzard as well, just to zone them. And here's Falstad. The level 20 Gust pinning them against the wall. 3 members of Roll1Esports caught in a little bit awkward position. Malfurion able to walk out of that, but let's see if they can get any kills off of that. A big Twilight Dream. Malfurion goes down. D.Va is going to pop out of her mech here. Tassadar turning around to get some damage done. But it does look like the remaining members of Roll1Esports are going to start to fall here. Down goes the May. Down goes Cassia. They get a counter kill onto Falstad, but that's going to be a 4-for-1 in favor of Cool Cats and Kittens. So far, their keeps are still up. That pressure's mounting in the bottom lane, but they're going to go down and clear that, and they might have actually just kept all of their keeps alive. Ugh, this one might go down, though.
Oh. Nope, not even close. What a play by the Falstad. Heads up fly behind the team, getting 3 of the enemy team in the upgraded level 20 Gust. That was super impressive. May tried to counter that play with getting a massive ice wall in the back line. I think she only ended up getting 2 people, but it worked for the most part, but they ended up getting the kill onto the Malfurion, which kind of started the snowball, that team fight. Ultimately, Falstad fell again, but still such a great play and a great Gust by Falstad there. That was awesome.
That bottom fort is going to go down, too, over on the side of Roll1Esports. That Bruiser Camp about to finish it off here. This next seed's going to be spawning down in the bottom mid area of the map here. Kind of a nice area for Cool Cats and Kittens because any other section of the map, there's fountains for Roll1Esports to quickly fall back to. If they want to get a tap this time, they're going to have to go to their mid well, which is quite a ways away. So a little bit even playing ground here. But again, there's only 6 seconds until this objective is up, and they're not really getting themselves in position for it. They're going to prioritize camps.
Isn't nature splendid?
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate this because, you know, their lane, they do need to kind of push their lanes out a little bit. They could use the next 2 objective phases potentially to just get their lanes in a position where they can fight for a longer period of time without having to worry about losing some keeps. But they are going to get this, they're going to get the Bruiser, D.Va's going to work on that Bruiser Camp top, and the rest of the team is going to grab the Siege bottom, it appears.
A little bit worried for this D.Va because it does look like all 5 members of Roll1 are going for the invade. There's only really this up on the map for them to be at. But here's Falstad going to go to that Gust against the wall here. The ice wall coming out onto Sonya, the crater there. She can drop that, but I don't know if she realizes because she's just kind of stuck in there spinning. They get the D.Va mech going off there. She's able to get back into her mech, and they're going to get the pick onto Sonya here. May left in the back lines, getting chased down, but the Blizzard going to help peel that Falstad off of her. Tassadar is just trying to turn and get as much damage out as he can here. But right now, a 1-for-0 in favor of Roll1Esports. Or sorry, in favor of Cool Cats and Kittens. May getting caught here, Condemn connecting. She's going to icing out of here, trying to get that last hit to secure the kill. They can't quite find it. Joanna thinking about maybe going in there contested, but this seed's up now.
Malfurion says, I'm done with this keep. I want it gone.
Destroyed a fort.
Wow. Okay. Another really great Gust by the Falstad there. ultimately is going to win his team this objective and Garden Terror phase, but the lanes are just in rough shape. The top Garden Terror is going to spawn all the way back at the dead keep, basically.
This is a really risky play for Roll1, though. They are getting caught overextended here in their lanes down the Sonya, so it is a 4v5. They're going to get the stagger death onto Tassadar here. Looking for Mei, but they don't quite see her. Oh, the minions are maybe going to interrupt here, and Mei's going to be stuck behind enemy line, so another stagger death with the Garden Terrors in favor here. This is exactly what Cool Cats and Kittens need at this point in the game to try and secure a win. Just keep those deaths staggered, get those team fights on equal footing.
I think. Can they end bottom lane right now?
It really depends how much Mei is going to distract them here, because Tassadar comes back, and if Mei can continue to just kind of icing her way out of here, she has that ice wall up in 2 seconds, so she could pop that and use it as an escape.
Oh my god, they're just chasing her forever. Okay, they're not. Okay, they're not going to try to end. Wow. It's crazy.
Oh my goodness, this Mei has created so much space.
Go course. Too funny.
I mean, that Mei actually created so much space for her team here, because they didn't get anything off those Garden Terrors. They didn't secure any forts. They didn't get any keeps. They only really got that stagger death onto Mei. They're going to get this invade onto the siege camp, but it's what can they do with that pick here to try and find something more.
Wow. I feel like if we put some like Benny Hill music or something to that,
really.
we get a hell of a clip. That was something.
We need to see Cool Cats and Kittens though start to prioritize picking up structures in this game, so that they have a win condition.
Yeah. There needed to be more done there, obviously, with that Garden Terror phase. I don't know that chasing Mei around was the play or the call. They had, you know, Sonya is so much damage. I guess it is like hard to push into a Sonya, and she was bottom lane. But I was hoping to see them at least pick up a keep or something like that.
The thing is past this point, they're going to need 3 more seeds before the Garden Terrors come up. So at this point, you know, you're looking for a team wipe, and you're going to have to push through a keep. If they just would have left the Mei and let her back, I think they would have found more value in just pushing with those Garden Terrors and trying to open up that map so they have a keep down in a win condition online if they do get a team wipe in their favor here.
Yeah, that was tough. False's going to grab the siege here.
Gather the seed before your enemy.
Looks like they're just going to give this objective again.
Red team's core is under attack.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of need to just push their lanes out again, maybe. I don't know. The next one's going to be big, though. I don't think they can give another objective.
No. Very close match, though, in terms of, you know, just keeping up an XP. Yeah. They've been even almost the entire series. Or I should say game.
Cassia scouting out the bush there.
Falstad just
go ahead, Jazzy.
Oh, Falstad is not afraid of the Mei here. He's just stepping up, getting those stacks onto her, and now zoned out from the team with that beautiful gust from the Falstad. They're gonna get the pick onto Mei here. Diva's going in there, has that mech explosion to drop. We are going to see that go out now. Let's see if it can connect onto anyone, but it looks like they're going to be able to get out again. Falstad just chasing that Cassia. That lightning rod stacks here really starting to scale into this late game and pump out a ton of damage.
They killed a Mei. That's actually insane. So just a massive Falstad gust to zone the entire team away from their tank, and then they isolate Mei and get the kill. That was awesome. But it looks like Roll1 is looking to go bottom lane here and potentially end out this game. And I think they can do it. They have a lot of damage. I think they are just going to try to race this. Falstad is flying back. Maybe he knows that that's a yeah. Yep, everyone's backing on the side of Cool Cats here. They know what's coming. Looks like Roll1 is going to back out here. That was a good opportunity, like good way
Oh, there's the gust. It does connect onto Tassadar for a moment, but he's able to walk out of it. Let's see if they can catch them on the retreat though, because they don't have their Mei up. Does seem like Roll1 has managed to make it out though, and that Cat is starting to kind of pile up at the core over on Cool Cats and Kittens. Need to be dealt with here.
Yeah, and I think what's starting to happen now is that Johanna sort of has to be, with the team. Like I think that Cool Cats is definitely needing someone to just be on dedicated clear duty with
A
how these
seed
lanes
has
are
been
looking with the
planted.
katas and
It
everything.
will
And
sprout
and
before you know
Johanna and
it.
Kael'thas are kind of the best wave clear, I think. So Falstad is struggling a little bit to clear some of these waves up, and Diva also, like not bad at clearing waves, but I think they're just struggling to get these lanes kind of pushed out.
I think if the false started with like full W build, you're not
Hmm.
getting that like activatable on your Q to kind of burst down a huge minion wave.
Right.
So his wave clear is really not the best with this build. He
Shouldn't you
does
be
manage to pump
gathering
out a
that
lot of single
seed,
target
hero?
damage in these fights though,
Hmm.
and it scaled pretty well into the late game here. He does have his Gust up and available here if he can get them pinned into a wall. We're going to see the Ice Wall come out, connect onto the Diva and Joanna. The route to follow it up, and now the leap. She's kind of stuck in there in the crater this time, but let's see if the Sonya can get any value out of it. It looks like Sonya's actually paying for that more than the Diva in that case. And May now kind of on the retreat here, split from her team once again. We're going to see her fall. Diva has that mech explosion up, but the Twilight Dream comes out from Malfurion. She's not going to have a chance to drop that. Libidium starting the channel here. They need to worry about what's going on at their core as well. They have Katas, Siege Giants, mounting here. Falstad is going to back to clear this up, but this is a lot of damage sitting on the core. We have like 6 Katas here now.
Sonya's
Oh,
going too. Sonya wants to end. I don't think that Falstad is going to be able to handle this. Yeah, I think this is done. Wow.
there we go. Almost a 30-minute game here to kick
I was
off
gonna
this
say a
series,
30-minute
but
game.
Roll1Esports able to secure the win here. GG's and well played.
It's unfortunate because I think Coolcast and Kittens found their strategy of basically killing the Mei. Towards the end of that game, if they had kind of stuck with that strategy early on, they may not have found themselves as behind as they did. But ultimately, it was a slow kind of. They were just slowly overwhelmed, I think, by the lane pressure and all of the minions. Falstad, not the strongest wave player. I wonder if maybe it's like obviously Falstad's a global, so you want him to kind of be the one clearing all of that up. But I think maybe Diva would have had an easier time clearing lanes. It's really a tough call there.
I think it really just came down to that choice to chase around May for so often when they had those garden terrors. They really needed to take advantage of that and try to open up the map. If they had done that, then they wouldn't have to have worried about going back to clear out their lanes all of the time because they
Yeah.
themselves would have had Katas spawning in their own waves as well.
That's so true.
So just that one moment, that one play in the game really kind of makes May the MVP regardless of her getting picked off in the late game. It just allowed them to continue to have all that pressure over in their favor to secure the win eventually.
Yep, that was where things kind of started to, I think, spiral out of control. But a really, really fun game to watch. I'm excited to see what happens in game number 2. Super close game, super long game. Let's see what they can do in game number 2.
Have you already backed off the talent screen yet?
I did, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, let's just take a peek at these talents here. Coffee can't see them, but in terms of builds here, nothing
I can see it on the
too nothing too crazy coming out in my opinion after that last patch. The W build on Falstad, everybody has been really excited about that. To see that here, not too unusual. And the same with Lily, her Cloud Serpent build. Everybody has been really hyped about that as well. So I'm not too surprised to see those builds on the Lily and Falstad. Sonya, of course, going her full W build. And Tassadar going with the static charge at 1. Not too unusual. I've seen some other talents picked at 4. Do you play Tassadar?
I do play Tassadar quite a bit. I like this build that he went, but yeah, I would say that the level 4 is probably interchangeable a little bit more there. Like the build that I'm curious about is the Cassia build, because they're obviously going charge strikes for like the auto attacks, but then going like the fend instead of the range at 13 can be tricky. Like I like that build where you obviously go fend in, you're immune to damage, and you pop your trait and just do some burst. But just kind of like, especially with the 16 chosen here, I maybe would have liked. I think it's like called Hands of Alacrity, is the talent that I'm thinking of at 13. I really like that talent with charge strikes and that level 16 pick.
Yeah, maybe, I mean, just one reason I could think is maybe they're just worried about a fall stat kind of sticking onto them with the new lightning rod talents and stuff coming out. So having that protect just allows her to kind of 1v1 the fall stat. But yeah, I can definitely see an argument for taking the range.
I don't think
here.
I saw the Fen get the full immunity ever, because Johanna's pulling you in, Diva's bumping you, Kael'thas is stunning you with gravity laps. Like I think there's just a lot to really make that not work out there. But you know, it came through for them for sure. Cassia, not on the screen anymore, but I think Cassia had a crap ton of damage there.
Yeah, the Malfurion build was also interesting, because he got changed in this last patch. I don't think there's like a standard build to go with him right now. But some of the talents that you typically have seen him pick up at like 7 and 13, 16 were not necessarily the ones we saw in that last match. But I mean, I don't have the patch notes completely 100% memorized. So
oh, you don't have them memorized? Okay.
No. We do have that next lobby up here. So let me update you guys on where we're going to be going for game number 2 in just a moment. Does look like Cool Cats and Kittens have opted for first pick after losing game number 1 here, giving map pick over to the side of Roll1Esports. So let's take a look at these map selections if you're just tuning in here. I also have to update that score for you all as well. We are going to be heading to Tomb of the Spider Queen after game number 1 here for the second game of the series. This one picked by Roll1Esports. Cool Cats and Kittens having first pick here. If you missed game number 1, it was on Garden of Terror. That one was picked by Cool Cats and Kittens, but the one win going over to Roll1Esports. A very close game, so I'm excited to get into game number 2 here.
Yeah, I think Spider Queen is more in line with the maps I'm used to seeing in NGS. This has got to be one of the most popular maps. But it was cool to see a Garden Terror picked. Hadn't seen that map in a while, and I guess because of the length of the game, now I remember why people are not a huge fan of it. It does. I think both teams were level 15 before the first objective phase, like the first Garden Terror.
Yeah,
so it just kind of goes a little slower.
That's not always the way it plays out. There's many a time where people really just run it down with those first Garden Terror phases, but Cool Cats and Kittens were just so able to keep up on XP there that didn't really happen here for Roll1.
Yeah, that was impressive, really, to be, in line with XP the entire game, that far behind on structure. That was really cool.
Anything you think we're going to see in game number 2 after getting a little bit of a peek at what heroes are in the roster here for these teams?
Yeah, I think we'll definitely see Cool Cats and Kittens will probably at least try for the Johanna again. I always see Johanna on this map just because it's probably the greatest wave clear tank here, and collecting those gems for turn-in is so crucial here. It's a good ban. I was going to say Sonya might be good here as well. Obviously, good wave clear. That was a strong Sonya game on the side of Roll1. Sonya ended up having a lot of value in those team fights, not just kind of the off lane. And then I think, I don't hate Kael'thas here if Cool Cats and Kittens wanted to do a Kael'thas here, but although I think another mage would be good. I think Chromie was banned last game. If one team can pick up Chromie here, that would be pretty strong. What are your thoughts?
You know what I'd love to see? I would really like to see Roll1Esports run a Mal'Ganis. They have the Malfurion, and then run the Mal'Ganis with that. Let just Mal'Ganis walk in, sleep everyone, throw the root underneath them. Alicia Wynn and Tenchi like to refer to it as the Malpals comp.
Malpals, got it.
Yeah.
Sleepy
And
boys
he
and
had
girls.
he had some nice little buffs in the last patch, so I'd like to see him make a showing in some of the games now.
Yeah, I would love to see some Mal'Ganis. So the only thing I sometimes see with Mal'Ganis is he just ends up too deep sometimes, where his team cannot follow. Obviously, that's more in terms of like team coordination. But we are going to see Uther picked up here on the side of Cool Cats and Kittens. Do you think that's a Uther tank or an Uther support?
I feel like I more often see him played as a tank, but at this level of play, it could really go either way here. It could be an Uther main healer, but I would lean more towards tank. You're going to see the Joanna and Stukov locked in here for Roll1Esports. My dog is just singing the Song of Her People behind me. I don't know if my mic's picking it up, but
The Song of Her People, wow. No, I can't hear it. I wish I could hear it. So I'm concerned with like showing the Uther support that early because it becomes very clear, you know, for Roll1 what they need to pick. Okay, that makes more sense. So we're going to see a Zarya Garrosh, which is a super common comp to kind of speed up the Garrosh to get that toss into like the Uther stun. So that could be deadly. That could be devastating.
I really like this pickup. They're going to need something, though, that's going to be able to secure those kills in the 4-man here because they have the Uther as their healer. Zarya will be on the 4-man to assist Garrosh. So I'm wondering what they're going to get for their offlane here. I don't want to see them go too melee heavy.
Yeah, that's a good ban. Greymane super strong against Stukov in general because he just kind of picks one hero and just kind of annihilates that hero. So like you can time when a D is like the trait of Stukov is popped, and then you know you can like burst pretty much anyone you want as Greymane. So I like that ban a lot.
Alright, the last ban coming out here in game number 2 is going to be the Mephisto, banned out by Cool Cats and Kittens. I'm really excited about Cool Cats and Kittens draft this time. I mean, Tomb of the Spider Queen is one of those maps where you're going to be doing these fast rotations between mid and top, and it's always fun just to see a Garrosh, you know, without the speed shield from Zarya, looking for picks on the rotations. But with the Zarya to help him out, it's going to be even more of a challenge here for Roll1.
Yeah, Cool Cats and Kittens have a spicy draft here. So we're going to see Phoenix and the Orphea picked up on the side of Roll1. So I think what Cool Cats and Kittens need here is a bursty mage like a Jaina, because they're also missing a lot of wave clear, and they need to wave clear to get those gems and have that rotation advantage here. So we're going to get the Volatirial. So we're running... So is Tyrael's not banned anymore?
No, they patched him tonight at like 5:30.
Okay, all right. Well, there you go. So we have potentially a 3-tank, 4-tank comp, sort of, with Cool Cats and Kittens. What do you think about this?
I mean, Zarya can pump out a ton of damage. Yeah. I'm not sure how I feel about the Tyrael. It's definitely interesting. It's a lot of melee over here on the side of Cool Cats and Kittens.
Are we gonna have the wave clear?
Yeah.
I just see this comp, maybe they're just going to be behind, on their rotations, really, and miss a lot of gems. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
We also have Thrall being picked up over on the side of Roll1Esports as well, and he's going to provide some nice % damage talents in his kit to kind of deal with Tyrael in that off lane. I'm assuming Tyrael is going to be the off laner here. I think I would have really preferred, a real bruiser in the off lane, or maybe even like an assassin that can off lane down there, just to have that little bit of extra damage in case they're really good about denying Zarya her energy to be pumping out damage. But we'll see how it plays out. It's definitely interesting, a little bit scary for maybe some of the squishies over on the side of Roll1Esports, because so many people can just walk at them, and it's just Joanna. I mean, Joanna, she's okay at peeling, but a lot of her kit is going to that she would need to use to secure kills is going to end up going towards just disengaging and peeling so much frontline off of her team here. So it's definitely an interesting matchup. Let's get into this though. Roll1Esports up 1 game in the series. On the left-hand side, we have Big Beard on the Orphea, Zad playing the Thrall, Waniba playing Stukov, Alberto on the Phoenix, and Rock Your World is playing the Joanna.
For Cool Cats and Kittens, we have Horvath on the Garrosh, Beowulf playing the Zarya, Lubidium on the Uther, Crazy for Hirano on Tyrael, and Descalada on Vala.
Ooh, there's the toss right away onto the Thrall, and the damage is going to be there to follow it up, so we're not too worried about that maybe. So we do see Thrall getting picked off quite early in the game. First blood over to the side of Cool Cats and Kittens. Vala's getting a little bit chunked here, but on the side flank, just looking to get some more picks. Orphea's going to get thrown in, the stun to follow it up. So we were concerned about the potential lack of damage here, but it looks like they have more than enough already at level 1.
Yeah, I think, you know, my only concern especially comes in when this Garrosh throws something and, you know, Vala, which is like their main DPS, just gets blinded by Johanna, you know, and nothing dies. Like, that's my concern. But so far, it doesn't seem to be a problem for Cool Cats and Kittens. They're making this work. They're ahead on kills and on their rotation here. So this is really working out for them.
Karu, thank you so much for the raid of 49. I really appreciate it. I hope your scrims went well tonight. I saw you guys were practicing for GGs this week. But thank you. I hope you had a great stream. I would have liked to see Vala maybe just go Q build here, and maybe she's not worried about it at level 1, looking just to kind of do like a hybrid build, but just taking the Q and the reset on her vault at 7 as well, just to get that burst damage. That way they have decent amount of burst to get a kill onto these toss targets. Mind you, they don't seem to be struggling with it at all yet, so we'll just have to keep an eye. But the fact that you mentioned already, Joanna having those blinds, maybe not the best idea to go full auto attack build as the solo damage dealer over on the side of Cool Cats and Kittens.
We are going to see the Bruiser camp picked up here on the side of Cool Cats and Kittens. And, oh, Phoenix was working on the Siege down here. Yeah, the Siege is going to get picked up on the side of Roll1 here. Garrosh just kind of doing whatever he wants right now. Not really scared of anything.
What is this rotation? All 5 members of Cool Cats and Kittens looking to get Joanna picked off here. It does look like that stun is going to secure the kill there. And she is going to fall. Quite a bit of gems going down here. It looks like Phoenix trying to step up to get them. He managed to get a couple, but I think they missed a few as well. Meanwhile, their Bruiser camp pushing forward in the mid lane, actually getting quite a bit of value, and Garrosh is just stepping up. He is not afraid of anything.
Yeah, they don't seem to have an answer for Garrosh right now. And in reality, I think he can drop. Obviously, Zarya providing a lot of support, you know, in the way of field, and Luke's providing a lot of armor in addition to Garrosh's passive armor, depending on his health. But there is going to be a flip onto the Johanna. Johanna getting awfully low. It's a Johanna, but wow, she's dead again. Okay. Wow.
Look at Zarya too, just basically sitting at full energy the entire time to pump out that damage is really helping out. We also have a raid coming in from the Bex. Thank you so much. I hope you had a fantastic stream as well. What were you up to tonight, Bex?
I think the Thrall is on the wrong side of history here. Gonna lose a lot of gems. That's unfortunate on the side of Roll1.
Cool Cats and Kittens are coming in a little bit more dominant in this series so far. See if they can continue to kind of hold this trend for game number 2 that's been happening. But right now, it kind of just feels like anyone can run at them, and it's working. We see the toss out onto Stukov, the stun from Uther to follow it up here. Zarya trying to step forward to get that damage out, but they didn't have Vala with them this time. So they couldn't secure that kill, and now Garrosh is looking like he might be in a bit of trouble. There's the shield with the speed to help him get out, but he turns back around, risking his life once again. However, it looks like he's still going to manage to stay alive. Meanwhile, we had Vala kind of 1v1ing with the Phoenix down in that bottom lane. The shields are off him, and he's taking a little bit of damage, but Stukov has healed him up quite a bit here.
Yeah, I think that Cats. Oh, Garrosh gonna get rooted, gonna take a lot of damage here. Needs to pop the unstoppable to get out. Johanna's also popped the unstoppable too soon, and she's gonna get flipped in and stunned. The damage is there to follow it up. Orphea's a little far forward, but ultimately Cool Cat's taking so much damage right now. They're gonna need to back off here. I'm not sure if it's just that Cool Cats has found, you know, they're on some more comfortable picks this game, but they did have really strong team fights in the last game, and this is a smaller map, so maybe they're just really able to kind of take advantage of, you know, their team fight capability more so far in this map.
Cool Cats and Kittens does have turn-in up and available here. We're going to see Zarya try to get that turn-in, but Phoenix and Orphea scouting that out. She's going to pop her shield, though, get herself up to half energy, and now she's kind of in a good position to take fights once the Garrosh is here. In the top lane, though, a little bit of a fight breaking out here between the Tyrael and Thrall. Tyrael getting quite chunked down in that matchup. He doesn't have quite the sustain that a Thrall does. Really only his shields to kind of keep him alive into that, whereas Thrall just gets those periodic heals from his trait. Johanna's going to be tossed in under towers here, pops the Iron Skin. The stun is going to connect on to Phoenix, who's then going to go ahead and phase shift out of there. But that siege camp over to the side of Cool Cats and Kittens.
Johanna is pretty consistently getting tossed, and they're making it work. There's Johanna tossed again.
She's just bodied in there, too. Garrosh even stepping forward, still looking for it. He's not concerned about his health whatsoever.
What an interesting path. Take. Oh, no. Wow. Stukov gonna barely make it out alive, and Tyrael's a little far forward now. Can Tyrael get out? And Thrall's gonna come in to secure that kill. Tyrael's looking for a big explosion here on Johanna. Bala! No, no! Bala's so forward. Phoenix is doing a lot of damage here. Gonna get the Zarya shield and the toss out. And then Johanna's tossing again! And Johanna is gonna fall. This is such a back and forth, Jazzy.
Yeah, just when you think that it might go over in favor of Roll1Esports with everybody kind of stepping out of position, they end up getting turned on themselves here. So Cool Cats and Kittens getting the turn in here, having that spider phase, the first one of the game coming in, and level 10's online for them now. Garrosh challenging into Warlord's challenge. Zarya is going to take Expulsion Zone. Rain of Vengeance picked up here for the Vala, and the last two ultimates still looking to be locked in. There we go. We do have Divine Storm locked in for Uther, and still waiting on the Tyrael. Is it going to be Judgment or oh my goodness, I'm drawing a blank. Sanctification, thank you.
The Expulsion Zone was picked up by the Zarya, used there in mid, trying to get the Orphea, and Orphea just barely dashes out with her Q. That was a really heads-up play there. Bala's tanking this forward, needs to be a little careful here. Big silence coming out by the Stukov, but they are going to disengage.
Those level 10s are also up on Roll1Esports side. Blessed Shield from the Johanna, Earthquake from Thrall, Eternal Feast being grabbed by the Orphea. Phoenix is going Purification Salvo and the Flailing Swipe from Stukov to round out the ultimates over on Roll1Esports side here.
Bring them to me.
Do you have
really
turn
like
in?
The Earthquake pickup by the Thrall. I think that's going to work well. Like if Thrall gets tossed in, you know, just popping Earthquake could be devastating.
It also combos really well with Orphea's Eternal Feast and the Purification Salvo.
Boss is being started here.
As well as Phoenix also talented into combat advantage here, so he has the Plasma Cutter dealing 35% more damage to slowed targets.
Slowed, like the execution.
It just pairs nicely together.
Yeah.
Let's see if they recognize what's going on here. If they do come into this boss fight, Thrall's still all the way down bottom. Boss finished out here. Johanna not quite able to close that distance in time. They do throw out the Condemn Eternal Feast onto the boss. They're going to get the pick onto Libidia, maybe? No, instead Orphea's going to fall. Libidium is walking away. Johanna's now left behind. They get a kick onto Garrosh, but not for free. Johanna trying to just kind of create that space, ends up paying for it with her life. A 2-for-1 and the boss in favor of Cool Cats and Kittens.
Cool Cats and Kittens just kind of finding their stride here in this game, wanting to take the risky plays and wanting to fight. And it's an exciting playstyle to watch. I'm enjoying this game very much. This boss is going to fall in top lane here. Roll1 is looking for a turn-in. We'll see where they can find it and if they can.
That mid forward is getting quite low here over on the side of Roll1. They're going to manage to keep it alive for now. Thrall trying to get a turn in here, but interrupted by the Tyrael. He's just going to go ahead and run away after that. Now we have Garrosh stepping in, landing 2 stuns onto the Phoenix and Stukov to interrupt this time.
He can kill Garrosh here. He needs to be careful. Alright, he's gonna get out. Zarya. Expulsion zone is out. The Phoenix taking a lot of damage here. The Condemn is on Johanna again. Garrosh so low. Phoenix looking for that kill, desperate for it. Not going to be able to get it. And Zarya's just living in their back line, but she's going to fall ultimately. So 0-for-1 trade going over in favor of Roll1. This is good for them. They need to get that turn in here.
Cool Cats and Kittens also sitting on a turn in now as well, though. It looks like they have already started the channel here. We'll see if Joanna's going to be able to interrupt. She does get that blind off to stop Vala from turning in here. Zarya's still down for another 10 seconds, so they do need to be a bit careful. Oh, wow. But they do have vision on Thrall in that bottom lane. He's clearing out a camp down there, so they know it's at least a 4v4, so pretty even fight here if they do end up having to take one.
Zarya's up now. She's going to head towards mid.
Thrall interrupting Uther on the turn-in here. Tyrael walking in, trying to get on Joanna just to zone them out, but turn-in does go in favor of Roll1Esports here. But take a look at their lanes. Look at this top lane, pretty much pushed into the keep here. So that Spider's going to be spawning so far back, and the rest of the lanes, you know, kind of Cool Cats and Kittens are ready. They're prepped to defend this turn-in.
There's so much fat XP in the top lane here for Cool Cats and Kittens that they're just not going to be able to get. It's too unsafe right now, but there is a fight breaking out here. Ultimates have been popped. Tyrael's going to fall first. Zarya next. Garrosh is going to fall as well. Uther could be next here. Uther's going to fall as well. And this is a 4-man kill for Thrall. Thrall's just popping off. I mean, obviously it's a team fight here, but Thrall is just devastating the team.
That was just a really great wombo coming out there from the side of Roll1Esports. We saw the Earthquake on top of the Eternal Feast, and it just really locked everyone down and slowed them into so much damage being dumped out by Orphea. Obviously, we saw Blessed Shield and Purification Salvo. Yeah, exactly. It all just played out perfectly. They had it all online and communicated and synergized well there.
I love it when the team just says, everyone press R, and, you know, stuff happens. But it is relatively early in the game. Cool Cats and Kittens are going to be up in time to, you know, save any keeps. But Judgment being popped onto the Thrall. Thrall is apparently immortal, not going to take any damage. Johanna looking to maybe make something happen here. Garrosh is going to pop Unstoppable. They need to be careful here. They don't have Vala. Okay, and Roll1 is going to back out here. Good job by Cool Cats and Kittens, recognizing they didn't have the Vala.
Back-to-back turn-in potentially happening here for Roll1Esports. They only need 5 more gems to secure this turn-in. And it does look like Cool Cats and Kittens now have that level 16, so potentially looking to contest this turn-in. However, Tyrael on the flank there taking quite a bit of damage and having to back out. Thrall is out of mana, Orphea also getting quite low, so if they really wanted to push into this, there's a potential that it could work out in their favor because of that. But just taking a look at their health bars, and now they're mostly healed up, so I would want to contest. Keep an eye on those turn-ins at this point. Maybe try to force one yourself.
Yeah, super impressed with the healing that Uther's doing, honestly. Uther usually a little lower on the heals, I find, because it's more single target based, but probably getting a lot of value out of that W, it seems like, and able to kind of top his team off. Obviously, there's a lot of help from the Tyrael and the Zarya here, but all in all, a really tanky team on the side of Cool Cats and Kittens. And they're going to push now with this spider phase and hopefully look to get a keep here.
Yeah, they were able to push off Roll1Esports just enough that they were able to sneak that turn-in and now Spider is collapsing in this mid one, spawning in the closest here. Garrosh stepping forward, looking to try and find a pick. Unfortunately, Joanna the only one there. Thrall has that root landing onto Zarya. She does get cleansed, and now the Judgment connecting onto Thrall. I like that both of their ultimate lines is out of my way.
Wow, they tried the wombo combo right there onto the Tyrael and the Garrosh. Both of them getting so low, like 5% HP, couldn't secure the kills. They're going to back off and try to get something done, maybe bottom lane here, but nice try there. So Tyrael's been using the Judgment on Thrall, it seems like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, they might be looking to set something up strategically, but it doesn't. He's pretty tanky. Like, I don't know that's the target to blow up.
No,
Maybe they're looking to do
I
something
agree.
else
I
there.
think you should be targeting the Orphea, maybe the Phoenix, depending on positioning. But Orphea, I think, main target here, if you're going to go ahead and judge on someone. Maybe even the Stukov, once he's popped his heal, doesn't have that up.
Yeah.
You are going to see the turn in here for Roll1Esports. Not too much value gained off of the turn in that Cool Cats and Kittens got. But here's a big combo out onto the Johanna. She has her Iron Skin trying to get out of there.
Wow.
The Zarya popping the ult. Garrosh saying, you can't stop me, and still going after that Johanna, but he's going to be stopped. So is Uther. They go down here in this fight. That Earthquake popped here. The rest of the members looking to retreat. And now 2 members down over on the side of Cool Cats and Kittens. With those spiders spawning in favor of Roll1Esports, they can really start to look to open up this map, maybe secure some keeps off of this.
Yeah, they got so much damage off to the Johanna, but once the trait was popped and she was out of there, they really shouldn't have chased that, I think. They ended up walking into that scary wombo combo that they've run into earlier, and it's devastating. The Earthquake into the Eternal Feast is really working out for the side of Roll1Esports.
Blue team has destroyed a foe.
Me too.
Back off here.
I maybe would have liked to seen Zarya's other ultimate picked up. So they have that level 20 talent into the silence, and there's really not much that you can do when you're stuck in that. And you have the Divine Storm to follow up on top of that, and the Rain of Vengeance just to CC them some more.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think what ultimately would have, well, you know, we can theory craft all day, but I think Sanctification would have been just a game changer here. Both times they've really gotten wiped, it's from this Eternal Feast Earthquake comp.
Yes.
Imagine like just pressing a button and removing those abilities from the game, basically. That's
No,
what Sanctification would do.
You're absolutely correct there. I think you're right. Sanct would have been the key to kind of avoiding that wombo combo that Roll1Esports is having. And in fact, Sanctification is the answer for any kind of wombo combo that teams draft. That it's the counter for it here. We're gonna see that boss starting to get shredded down by Cool Cats and Kittens, but Roll1Esports understands what's going on. Uther, though, going to fall here. Garrosh in the back line just trying to keep them out of that boss. So they do manage to secure it, but how many lives are they going to drop here in order to have that boss in favor? We do see the Tyrael go down here. Garrosh now stuck out with the rest of the members of Roll1Esports chasing him down here. The blind comes out, the silence connects as well, and that's going to be 3 members down over on the side of Cool Cats and Kittens with a boss to defend on the top keep of Roll1Esports.
Yeah, I mean, they got the boss, so Roll1 can't end, right? Yeah, they can't end. They have to defend the boss, but you know, ultimately down to talent tier about halfway through that fight, I think that started to look a little sketchy. Now Roll1 is going to be able to get a turn in here, and they have an open lane to the core, so this is looking troubling. Garrosh still has 30 seconds left till he reses. Frost is going to probably just leave this boss. It's going to get cleared up by itself by the core here, and the web weaver phase is going to start here, and Roll1 looking awfully strong, maybe looking to close out this game.
Yeah, level 20s are online now for Cool Cats and Kittens. We're going to see Garrosh spawn in 5 seconds here, so all 5 members will be up for the defense. That spider in the top lane, you know, it looks like it's going to be spawning in at about mid lane. They managed to push that out pretty quickly after the boss. So it seems like they have all eyes on this top lane.
Makes sense. I mean, because essentially when this web weaver phase ends, you know, what's the timer on that boss going to be? Like 3 minutes or so. They might look to grab a boss of their own potentially, depending on how this push goes.
Cool Cats and Kittens are doing a pretty good job of cleaning up these lanes, though. This top spider almost at about half health. They already cleared out that mid one, and the one in the bottom spawned a little bit further back, so it's just starting to crash onto their bottom keep. This top lane, though, probably the priority, just because, as you mentioned, that's still the boss lane, so if they have that open and can make a boss play to go for a win condition here. Oh, Orphea just caught a little bit out of position. We're going to see the Judgment come out. She drops the Eternal Feast to try and heal for herself. Divine Storm being popped, as well as the Earthquake from Thrall going down. They're going to find Orphea, but can they get that counter kill? They are going to find that onto Tyrael, the Condemn helping to secure that. Phoenix getting the last hit there, and now they are on the retreat here. Flaming Swipe comes out from the Stukov to disengage. Vala is still trying to keep on them, realizes the rest of her team's backed off to clear core. She is going to retreat as well here. Bit of core damage coming out here onto Cool Cats and Kittens core from these leftover Katas and minions. It's going to bring it down to about 75% health. If they can find the picks here, they could potentially look for an end. And Garrosh getting quite low, has that shield from Zarya, but it's not going to be enough to keep him alive. We're going to see him fall as well. See if they can get the counter kill. There's going to be a pick in return onto the Thrall here. So 1-for-1 over this core call. Now they're looking for potentially more. If they can kind of just run them down at this point. Thrall and Orphea aren't up for quite a while. Vala just keeping up. The Rain of Vengeance connecting onto Stukov. She's just keeping on them with those autos.
Oh, man.
And there's a turnaround. Blessed Shield coming out. Condemn into the silence here. They're going to get a pick onto Zarya. Vala now on the retreat. Not much health left on her. Libidium stuck behind, pinging for help. Does have those heals. We have Tyrael back up. The Judgment is out. Here goes right onto the Thrall. This time probably the target I would have gone with as well. Or sorry, it was onto the Joanna.
So many gems lost on the side of Roll1 there as well. That is super unfortunate. Such a back and forth. I love the turnaround idea, but they maybe should have just backed up once they got that kill.
Yes.
They chased a little too far here, and I think they are definitely aware that this Bruiser camp is getting picked up here. Tyrael's here now. Stukov is going to need to run for his life. He's so low. If Tyrael can get this kill, they could end the game. Judgment's out. Stukov is going to fall.
Remember when we were saying Judgment wasn't the pick, and then he just comes online and gets 2 kills
in
within like 30
30
seconds?
Shows what the hell I know.
They're getting some nice staggered death picks over on the side of Roll1Esports, but again, we're kind of in a similar position we saw in Garden of Terror. They just don't have the structures down, and they need to continually be clearing up their lanes here. So they need to find some values with these picks now. Really look to open up this map, finish off some of these keeps, look for more picks, and end this game.
Yeah.
I just want to see them do something with these death timers.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like Zarya's starting this camp here.
Ooh, the Judgment. The Rain of Vengeance follow-up. The Earthquake's out to try and peel for Thrall here, but it's a 4v4. They need to be careful they don't have Zarya with them. Tyrael getting quite low here, trying to back out. The Eternal Feast is going to come out as well. Divine Storm being popped by Uther to try and get him to disengage. We are going to see, though, the Thrall goes down, not for free. Uther goes down, but he does have that level 20, so he's going to be back up for the fight here in just a moment, I believe. Yeah, there we go. The level 20 proccing now. So 3 members down on the side of Roll1Esports.
I believe they can definitely end here. So Cool Cats and Kittens looking to close this game out, barring any, unexplained just Orphea ponage. But this core is gonna fall.
20% in going down. This is gonna be game number 2 over to the side of Cool Cats and Kittens, bringing us to a game number 3.
Yeah, really great game. A lot of back and forth there. I mean, love the brawly nature of this map, and both teams had a great team fight. Cool Cats and Kittens, really fun draft. I think I enjoyed seeing them make it work. Ultimately, we love more HOTS, so we like game 3. We like game number 3s.
And look at Vala's damage there, pumping in 103k hero damage.
10-0, Vala.
Yeah, surprisingly, didn't even get picked off. Was one of the squishiest characters in the game. But yeah, no, great game from the Vala here for sure. I know, I was even wondering if going auto attack build into the Joanna was going to hinder them with their picks with Garrosh, but she kind of proved us wrong as well. Still, all in all, very close game again for game number 2, 16-17 in kills, and very back and forth as well.
Jesse, I think I'm going to step away for a moment. Are these teams going to take a little break?
Probably not too long, but whatever you need to do, it's okay.
Grab a drink, and I'll be right back 2 minutes here.
Okay, no worries.
Right.
Let's talk a little bit about these talents while we're waiting for that next lobby to come up here. I think for the majority of the ultimates and everything, we've kind of gone over how well they paired together. I really, really liked the Earthquake pickup, especially with Phoenix talenting into combat advantage. and the Eternal Feast and Purification Salvo just to follow up on top of all of that. And of course you had Blessed Shield just to set up the entire thing there. Throw out the Blessed Shield, drop the Earthquake, and then you have Orphea, Phoenix. And so it really is just an everyone press R kind of game here. But we did have Coffee bring up an excellent point. The Sanctification would have been great counter to that Wombo combo, so would have worked really well here for Cool Cats and Kittens if they were to opt for that over the Judgment. However, the Judgment, especially once he got the level 20 and having that reduction on the cooldown and the increase of range, really helped him to secure some kills and stagger some deaths in the late game, which led to Cool Cats and Kittens winning the game. So what do we know? Just taking a look at the rest of the builds here, kind of mentioned the Vala build is a little bit interesting into a Joanna, specifically when they're the sole damage dealer. I want to take a look at the stats once again just to see what kind of damage Zarya pumped out here. Nothing too crazy, but still definitely helping out. Oh, I like that Orphea took Backbiter here. You know, one of the things about playing Orphea into Garrosh is that some of your abilities really require you stepping in within Garrosh's range there. So taking that Backbiter meant anytime she stepped forward to land that chomp onto any targets, it wasn't leaving her in an awkward position to be tossed by Garrosh. So that's a cool pickup for sure. All right, let's pop on over.
All right, I'm back.
To me, we have Coffee back now. Still waiting on that last lobby to come up.
We have this like antibiotic that we have to give our little cat. He had a trip to the vet recently, and it was his medicine time. So, all right.
Is it a pill?
It's not. It's you have to give it through a syringe.
Oh, the syringe.
Yeah. And he hates it. Like So we've had medicine in the past that's like more, I guess, I don't know, it's thinner or something like a painkiller, but this antibiotic is like milky white and it's like thick and he hates it.
I think I've given my cat the exact same thing before. Yeah. I'd rather do the syringes though than trying to pill a cat. Mm-hmm. So I've done both. They both suck, but if I had to choose.
Yeah. Some cats are okay with the pill, like just in their food sometimes, though. Like I've been able to sneak that, but this cat, yeah, that would never work. He would just spit the pill out. Oh man, that was such a good game. I'm excited for game 3.
Me too. They must be taking game 3 really seriously here because there's no map coming out quite yet. So maybe they're really thinking about where they want to go for this last series here. Now, Roll1Esports just lost that one, so they're going to be given the option of map pick or first pick here.
Okay.
Where would you like to go?
What's banned so far?
Cursed, Infernal, Alterac, and Dragonshire.
I'd like to see a Towers of Doom or Battlefield of Eternity. Probably.
Yeah. I want to see a Towers of Doom game. These games have been so close. I think the best way to end off this series is just bring it to Towers of Doom and keep everyone on the edge of their seat the entire match.
Well, hopefully they're watching and they can hear you say that. We want Towers, guys.
I have, like, one time, one team was like, Jazzy, what's your favorite map? And I told them, like, okay, that's what we'll start then. So I did get to pick one time.
You just chose it.
Yeah.
Caster power. They do it?
Yes.
Yay! You love to see it.
All right. Wishes come true tonight because we're going to be going to Towers of Doom for this last game of the series. Let me just update the map overlay here in case you're just tuning in and wondering what happened for game number 1 and 2. All right, let's go there now. So, game number 1 was played on Garden of Terror, picked by Cool Cats and Kittens, but won by Roll1Esports. That bring us to game number 2 on Tomb of the Spider Queens. This time, it was picked by Roll1Esports, but the win going over to Cool Cats and Kittens. Does seem like Roll1Esports have opted for first pick after losing game number 2 here, giving map pick over to Cool Cats and Kittens, who have brought us to Towers of Doom to end out this series here. Well, let me get you the invite to the lobby.
Thank you.
What are you expecting to see here? I mean, I always think about what are we going to see in the off lanes?
Yeah, me too. I think this is like one of those maps where the double soak strat just reigns supreme. So having two really great offlaners kind of go head to head and double soak is so fun to watch, in my opinion. While four people just kind of brawl it out bottom. It's really fun. But yeah, I think I don't think it's unheard of. We've seen a strong Sonya so far. That would be good here. We've seen a really good Diva. I think the Diva play earlier was great. That would be a good one to see.
Towers.
I don't know. In terms of the 4-man, I really want to see a Chromie tonight, and I want to see Temporal Loop because that's the one that got changed. I know Temporal Loop's like meme, but I'd love to see it.
Chromie she was banned out in game number 1, but not game number 2. So maybe it'll sneak through the draft there and someone will pick it up. We're just going to have to see. Sticking with
Hanzo's
that.
been banned. Like is there a really great Hanzo player on Cool Cats and Kittens?
Yeah, I am not sure, but it does seem like that's maybe a target ban onto Cool Cats and Kittens.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is because we're super early into the season here, there's
a lot
not
of
very many
depth.
games to scout unless they're going back and looking if these teams played in the last season of NGS or any of those off-season leagues that are out there, which I think some of them do, and I'm pretty sure both these teams did play last season.
Yeah, so they're a little familiar with each other, and they are going to ban that Sonya, which I think is a good call. The Sonya play has been strong. Tyke is also going to be banned here. Let's see what Roll1 first picks.
You know, the Garrosh Zarya comp can definitely work on this map as well for Cool Cats and Kittens if they just want to try and run the same thing. It worked out for them in game number 1, but especially here because the majority of the time your 4-man can just sit in that bottom lane and look to siege and find picks and invades onto the camps, and Garrosh and Zarya really can help out with that. We're going to see Stukov getting picked up here for Roll1Esports, and there you go. There's your Chromie.
There she is. Great map for Chromie, and Beowulf's going to grab Cassia to follow that. Stukov is just, in my opinion, the strongest support right now. Would you agree, Jazzy?
I think he's up there.
Yeah.
I think Stukov, Lucio's been pretty popular, and in the right comps is absolute monster with the last patch and his high 5 buffs. Brightwing's still pretty popular, but I think with the nerfs that have come through, and the same thing with Deckard, a little bit of nerfs coming through onto Deckard, that kind of really evens the playing field for healers here. I haven't really had enough time to check out Lily, but everyone seems really hyped on her, so I'm kind of interested to see where she really ends up falling in this meta, if she's going to be an actual, prioritized pick going forward.
Yeah, I mean, the challenge with Lily, right, is just, untargeted healing. Sometimes you may not want to heal that person that is very low because he's safe. He or she is out safe, and you need that targeted heal on somebody with a higher health pool that's just in the wrong spot. So that's always going to be a challenge, I think. But
she's definitely one of those heroes where up front, it seems like she's a very easy hero to play, but in reality, there's a lot of nuance to her positioning to making sure those heals
Right.
fall on the right targets. The order that you send out your abilities, depending on if you pick up the like the spell power on her blinds that she used to have. I'm pretty sure she still has.
I think
We will forge a great destiny.
Marion? Oh, Lucio. Is this
I
a
like-
taunt Marion?
Yes, and you know what? Grabbing the Lucio here is fantastic if they're wanting to run the taunt variant comp. I doubt they would have went double support over on the side of Roll1Esports, but he is like the counter to a taunt variant comp with his high five now. You just walk in, high five the target, and the only basically the only hero you can taunt if you're running a variant comp with a Lucio on the enemy team is the Lucio.
Oof, that's a Misha main tank. No, I'm just kidding.
That's
Really tanky here though, like
They just took
Peruser wise.
3 offlaners over on
Yeah.
the side of Roll1Esports.
Like their team fight is probably not good, but I wonder if they need to team fight. And there we
Oh!
have the Vikings are picked up on the side of Cool Cats and Kittens. I think we got a fun game in store here.
I don't know if maybe Roll1Esports is thinking, you know what, Varian is not that great at disengaging and peeling for his team, so let's just go heavy frontline and run at them.
Yeah.
I'll have to see how it plays out, because I still think with a Chromie Cassia on your team here, they have enough burst damage that as long as they are communicating and synergizing well, they're going to be able to get the picks that they need to get to kind of turn these team fights, but it's very interesting drafts for sure.
Yeah, it's interesting because like up until the Vikings were picked, I was going to say, well, the team fight is just stronger here with Cool Cats and Kittens, but now I think maybe their draft is more around like poke and just like stalling objectives. So I'm really curious to see how this one plays out.
Why don't you kick it off this time with introducing the right-hand side?
Sure. Yeah, we'll start with Cool Cats and Kittens here on the right-hand side. We've got Libidium on Lucio, Descalada on Chromie, Beowulf playing Cassia, Horvath on Varian, and Crazy for Hirano on the Lost Vikings.
10 seconds.
And on the left-hand side, we have Roll1Esports with Big Beard playing the Rexar, Waniba on the Stukov, Alberto on the Phoenix, Rock Your World on the May, Zad playing the Dahaka, and I feel like I missed someone. Maybe I didn't.
Did you say Phoenix?
I think so.
I don't know.
Big Beard on Rexar? Maybe I missed Big Beard. I don't know.
That's the mess. Yeah, I think so.
There's that Blizzard
Big
being
Beard on
dropped
Rexar.
here. Cassie going in for the Fend. The silence coming out from Stukov. Tongue connecting onto Varian here. He's going to use that charge to try and get himself out of there, but unfortunately that last hit from May going to sneak in there, get that pick onto Varian.
Great tongue with the Dahaka to pull the Varian in there. You know, they were a little too aggro there potentially. Varian's not even really a hero yet, and they have Lost Vikings, you know, soaking lanes, so didn't need to be too engaged there. I think maybe just got a lucky tongue from the Dahaka there and got pulled in.
Yeah, on the note of Varian not being a hero to level 4, what I love to see is those camp invades in the early game with a Varian on the enemy team here, and we do see Roll1Esports kind of setting up to keep an eye on what's going on over there. They are backing off now. I would have liked them to stick around and try and contest this camp, but it looks like they're just going to set up to do a trade here.
Yeah, the invade would have been good.
I think you do the invade 100% of the time. You have a Varian on the enemy team as the main tank. It's not level 4 yet. And additionally, you have a Dahaka as your offlaner that can burrow down into the bush to take a 5v4 if you end up in a little bit of an awkward position. You should be able to just win the fight regardless, though, with Varian not being at level 4 yet. We are going to see them get the pick onto Chromie there. Beautiful combo coming out from the May, the silence to follow up on top of that Blizzard. And Eric's going to go down in the top lane as well.
Yeah,
Or
that was
the mid lane?
nice.
Wait, did Eric just die to minions in the mid lane? Oops.
He did, yeah. That happens. Poor little Eric. But the micromanaging of this bear has been pretty spot on by the side of Roll1Esports and Big Beard. Just harassing Cassia and Chromie.
There's the taunt going out onto the Stukov here. Chromie trying to finish off the kill here. We're going to see one of the Vikings fall, and Cassie's going to go down as well. The stun from the bear connecting onto Lavidium. We'll see Lucio fall as well as now Varian. So many picks in favor of Roll1Esports here. They're already starting to get some damage onto the front wall, this bottom tower.
You know, I think the only thing that happened there is Cassie was a little too low when Varian called for that taunt onto the Stukov. Cassie couldn't get in there to really get that damage out, and Stukov ended up walking away. Here's the stun from Misha onto the Chromie. Chromie's got to be careful. Gonna have to get out of there. Time trap is available.
Woo!
Misha's gonna fall. But yeah, I think that's just like that's the right idea. I think that Varian just has to make sure his team is in a position to really follow up on that taunt, and this could work out for them. But Stukov's going to get the channel on the bottom shrine, it appears. Rexar's grabbing upper left.
Vidium trying to get that.
Cloak.
She does need to be careful though, because the rotation's coming out. She's going to potentially get caught out of position. Misha's stepping forward to try and chase her, looking for that stun. Varian coming in here, seeing if they can stall this out there. There's Misha looking for the stun, but it does not quite connect. And now Dahaka walking into the back line of Cool Cats and Kittens. It's going to back off here now. The rest of them following up. Gets the pick onto Misha. Rex are trying to get the channel off, but Varian has made his way in here. We do see one of the Vikings getting picked off again here. Dahaka on the flank, looking to try and find something if he can. Does look like May in some trouble. He's trying to peel for his team, but unfortunately she does fall here. And now the stun from Misha, the tongue from Dahaka pulling Varian in. He is able to walk away from this, and this tower does go over to the side of Cool Cats and Kittens, bringing the score 32-36 in favor of CCK.
Really, really good for them for a Vikings comp to end up taking the first two towers. I think that's a good sign. But it does look like the sappers are going to be picked up bottom lane here, the aggressive sappers, and they'll back off and they'll grab their own.
One thing I was going to mention is you're running a Chromie Varian comp. You really need to be communicating, particularly the Chromie and Varian really need to be communicating when her Dragon's Breath ability is off cooldown for those taunts, because that's really the big blowout damage that you need to secure those kills off of taunts here. So if she's already popped that, you just need to hold your taunt, have a little bit of patience so that they can look for the pick.
It's
once
kind of a long cooldown too. It's at least 8 seconds. So
I know just from experience playing like Varian Chromie or Imperious Chromie, I try to hold on to my W as much as possible. I'm not dropping it on waves. I'm waiting for the kill opportunity to show up there. There's the silence coming out onto Cassia, who's also stunned by Misha here, and May is going in for the kill onto her. Varian not really able to help out much there. The time trap comes out from Chromie. Looks like they're maybe thinking of the counter kill, but unfortunately not able to find it here.
Yeah, I liked that ice wall there because it did look like Varian had taunt up, and potentially that was going to be a taunted May into a blow up by the Chromie. That was a premeditated ice wall. Another Viking is going to fall. These poor Vikings are really just kind of eating it right now.
You know, though, at level 13, once Varian gets the shield breaking talent, it's going to be a really great pickup into Phoenix. They can basically just pop him.
I hope he takes that talent.
It's such an easy, like, just point and click talent, and then you go for the taunt on Phoenix. Like, there's no way he lives. That slowing sand just creating a lot of disruption here for the members of Roll1Esports as they try to disengage. The blizzard comes out. It's going to let the stun onto Varian. The rest of them are already out of there, and score currently 28-32 in favor of Cool Cats and Kittens, but level 10s and the XP advantage over on the side of Roll1Esports.
Another Viking is going to fall here, but I think I would love to see Roll1 kind of force something here. Like, Cool Cats and Kittens is playing very aggressive for not having level 10s.
It's going to work out so far for them. They get the pick on a Rexar, but the rest of the members of Roll1Esports are rotating down now, so they do need to be careful about being overextended. Level 10s are online for them, however. Lucio talenting into Sound Barrier. We already saw that slowing sands being used by the Chromie. Ball Lightning from Cassia. We're going to see one of the Vikings fall once again here. And Varian's taking that shield wall.
Okay. Well, Varian chilling in the bush here. Yeah, I just think that the team fight is ultimately stronger for Roll1Esports here, and they seem to be on the defensive, at least for now. Rexar kind of coming behind here, looking for a flank with the boars. Varian's out of position here. Gonna try to charge out, but Varian's taking so much damage. And now Lucio's in trouble. Gonna pop the ultimate in time, just in time. Ice Wall is out. Time Trap is out. Great Time Trap onto this Cassia here. May have actually killed Cassia. I'm not sure. Ultimately. Don't know. I think maybe
they were
it
so
was
close to being able to walk away from there. The sound barrier came out at the perfect time. The time trap.
Activate them.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The time trap probably helped, but also was kind of unlucky too for Cassia. I don't know if Cassia could have just walked out, because the problem with that is that time trap removes all of Cassia's avoidance that she had. So, you know, coming out of that time trap, she's.
Does it?
Enough of this charade.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you are frozen.
I didn't know
or
if a stasis would remove it, because it's
Good
like
question.
you're frozen in time.
I have to take this to a
Yeah.
try mode.
Is Paradox still in chat? He always
Paradox
knows
would
this
know.
kind of stuff. Look at this fight breaking out. They really want this siege camp. Roll1Esports is going to pay for that invade there, though. May is going to fall. Rexar goes down. Waniba now left behind. Stukov is going to fall as well. A 3-for-0 in favor of Cool Cats and Kittens, and they're going for the invade now over onto Roll1Esports siege camp.
One of the things I was looking for is if Chromie took the talent that Time Trap gives armor to 30 armor to friendlies, and I was going to say, well, I guess it negates it, right? Because even if she loses the armor, Chromie gives it, but Chromie did not take that talent. So I am curious to know if Cassia lost all the avoidance there.
And now I really want to watch and see if it does.
Yeah, I'll have to watch it back.
Because it's not the same as a stun. Usually stasis is just like freeze everything as it was.
Ice wall.
So I don't know.
Prepare yourselves, heroes.
Yeah,
Altars rise.
Is that ice wall connected onto Varian, but he's going to go ahead and use that ultimate there to block all of Phoenix's purification salvo damage pumping out there. We have those altars spawning in the bottom lane and the mid here. Varian did go the shattering throw here, so it does have that shield breaking. We're going to get the pick on Amisha. The rest of the members managing to back off of this. Chromie just stepping forward to dump some more damage out. Cassia also in a very aggressive positioning here. Needs to be a bit careful. Dahaka, though, is going to play interrupt on this top altar, but might pay for this as he is pretty split from his team. However, going to pop that ultimate, get himself completely healed up with the adaptation, and walk away here. Back down to the bottom lane. Just
Meanwhile,
fights breaking out all over. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think Roll1Esports is going to be able to back out here, but this whole time the Vikings have just been pushing top lane and giving their team that XP lead. It's kind of working exactly how they envisioned it. The Huck is going to have to get out and go handle those Vikings for now, but I think that Cool Cats and Kittens really is showing their dominance here in these team fights, surprisingly.
Yeah, it's kind of chaotic team fights that are happening. Because you see some of the engages happening for Roll1Esports, and then Cool Cats and Kittens escape and maybe turn on them, maybe lose someone, but then they come back and win the next one here. There's Beowulf caught out a little bit of position, but May is going to pay for that icing in there. Has that ball lightning drop, taking a bit of damage, and now Varian already popping that shield here. Misha looking for the stuns if they can find it. We're going to see Beowulf go down to minions, tower shots potentially in another lane, and there's the pause coming out. Ooh.
No, that's unfortunate. Yeah. Yeah, one of the Vikings player did disconnect, so they're going to pause that for now. I was just about to say that the Vikings are giving their team such an advantage here that I don't necessarily think Cool Cats and Kittens has to play this aggressive right now, because they're going to get 16 first. You know, so it's almost better to just let this sort of play out a little bit more and then play aggressive and try to take this bottom fort here with their 16s.
Yeah, I think too, especially with other things up on the map right now, they have that siege camp that they could fall back to pick up and get a little bit of XP off that. There's a wave crashing in mid right now, probably likely because the Vikings did DC, but needs to be cleared up, and that would also get them 16.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Bonkai, thank you so much for the raid. How are you doing this evening? I'm assuming you were just casting as well. Getting all the raids here tonight.
They've come to the right place. Unless we wait. Oh, maybe they're coming back. As we wait a little bit longer, I just wanted to bring up, Phoenix taking this purification salvo, but I think ultimately, it's so far, the Roll1Esports hasn't been able to get the slow beforehand before that gets used. If May can land, a really great blizzard right before purification salvo goes off, like that could be just devastating. It could be so much damage coming out from the Phoenix. I think they're trying to make that happen.
Yeah, the nice thing is now those ultimates are online, Rexar did unleash the boars, so they do have some additional slows as well to pair with that.
Yeah.
And again, Phoenix did talent into combat advantage here, so his plasma cutter is also going to deal 35% more damage to slowed targets. So it kind of just pairs nicely. I don't know if having the boars just to kind of pair for slows with Phoenix is worth taking. Rexar in the 4-man. It's a little awkward, but I mean, all in all, very close game so far. We are 24-24 in shots and 15-15 in XP.
I think our teams are ready. Yeah, I think Vikings is back, and we're looking to get started again here in a second. But it's been a super close game. And I think at some point these teams just kind of agreed, you know what, we're just going to pick our comfort picks, pick what we want to play.
Coming up.
Oh, there's the ice wall connecting onto Chromie. We're going to see Varian fall here. The Lucio ult being dropped to try and keep everyone alive. A little bit of a speed boost to get them out of position. The time drop being dropped by Chromie in case she needs to use that to peel out of here. May is going to icing in there, trying to find more. But they've made it to the safety of their fort here. If they continue to try to chase under here, they're going to be taking tower damage. And Vikings is still getting the soak for them in the other lanes. Dahaka actually burrowed down to help out. They get a pick onto Misha. That's going to put them to 16s right now over on the side of Cool Cats and Kittens.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. I think that Roll1Esports needs to grab 16s before they can really make a push and try to get 2 of these. Dahaka dealing with this Viking on his own bell tower or own shrine here. If Roll1Esports doesn't play it safe here, they could end up losing all 3 of these shrines, which would just be devastating.
Well, they picked up 1 because the score's 20-20 now, right?
All right. They must have picked up bottom.
The stun going out onto Cassie. Caught a little bit out of position here, but not enough damage around for Roll1Esports to get the pick. Misha getting quite low. We're going to see the ice wall come out, connect onto a couple members and a Viking over on the side of Cool Cats and Kittens, and the silence to follow up on top of that. Dahaka in this backline did already pop his adaptation, used his burrow to kind of keep himself alive, but they're doing a pretty good job of just zoning them off of this top tower here. I like the
purification
Vikings.
salvo again with no one slowed. It's just so unlucky. They have so many things to slow, and they're just not when he pops it. So it's almost no damage going out.
For those of you just joining from Bonkai's stream, you're showing up at just the right time because this series has been so close. Every single game really just coming down to the end here. And what a way to end it off on Towers of Doom, where it really is the, it's not over till it's like really over match.
Heroes, I have opened a tunnel near our core that leads to the battle.
All right, the invade onto the siege camp by Roll1Esports. Let's see if this is going to work out for them, though, because I might be getting caught out of position. We are going to see the May getting picked off here. Cassia, though, a little bit split from her team. Stukov and Rex are potentially eyeing her. The stun's going to go out onto Chromie, though. However, it looks like they are just going to get maybe a pick onto Misha. Yes, Misha does fall here. The rest of the members retreating off there. So a 1 for almost a 1.5 for nothing in favor of Cool Cats and Kittens with that Misha pickup. And they're going for the invade onto the seed camp of Roll1Esports now.
I gotta tell you, it's so hard to watch all the action because right now the 3 Vikings are just making life a living hell for this Dahaka in the top lane. It is so fun to watch, but there's gonna be a fight over this camp. Rexar getting caught, gonna fall.
The altars are rising, heroes.
And that camp is gonna go over to the side of Cool Cats and Kittens. What a close game, Jazzy.
I just feel like there's non-stop action everywhere on the map in this match.
Yeah, it's tough.
Varian does need to be careful here. He does not have his team around. They've all hurt to get topped off on mana and health before this next objective comes up. It is just that one altar spawning in the mid, and they do have tunnels to take if they wanted to cut down the time to rotate here. For now, another 17 seconds until Rexar is back up, so this will be a 5v4 if the Vikings choose to collapse and help out here. May stepping up, trying to get those interrupts to Hawk on the flank. Goes for the tongue, does not quite connect. The poke damage coming out from Chromie, though. And there's Vikings on the side. Lands that stun onto Dahaka. The Ice Wall coming out, catching Varian and one of the Vikings. The silence underneath as well. He already used that shielding talent for his ultimate, so he's not going to avoid the salvo damage this time. We're going to see a couple of Vikings getting picked off here. Chromie just looking to find those last hits onto a couple members, though. Not quite able to make it happen. Rexar, though, caught out of position. He's going to pop that stasis for a moment. The silence is underneath to try and help him disengage, but Chromie going to be able to secure that kill. And now Waniba caught out of position as well. We're going to see him fall 2 members down on the side of Roll1Esports to a couple Vikings over on the side of Cool Cats and Kittens. I would say Cool Cats and Kittens coming out on top there.
The shrine was captured like 10 minutes ago. I really wanted to see Roll1Esports just get the hell out of there at that point. The fight was not going their way, and they'd already lost the shrine. But now they're going to lose this bottom fort because of how bad that team fight went. And the game begins to kind of, fade away from them at this point. Trying to catch this Lucio out right now. Lucio taking tower shots, just barely going to get out. And now Varian's taking tower shots as well. The fort is almost up. It's just about to fall here. Chromie is going to get it.
I would say the only thing that's really in favor here for Roll1Esports is the fact that they're losing their bottom bell tower, which is something you never really want to do on this map, is those next altars are spawning in at the top side of the map, so it's not like it's cutting off their rotations to the next objectives here. However, it's, both these altars going over to Cool Cats and Kittens, regardless of whether they had that bottom bell tower, will win them the game, so they need to make sure that they at least secure one of these and potentially look to take boss off the map as well as a win condition for Cool Cats and Kittens.
Yeah, Cassia's still finishing up these sappers here, so that's going to be a concern for Roll1. Roll1 just happy to have a Viking channel the right shrine and give the left shrine and just get double sapper cams pushing in this bottom. This is absolutely 100% the correct play here.
Still no 20s online quite yet for the side of Roll1Esports, but they need to put up a big defense down here for these sapper cans. If these walk in, this could end the game here. There's the ice wall coming out. The ball lightning just bouncing around, taking a ton of damage over on the side of Roll1Esports. Cassie, though, very low, needing to back out here. Dahaka's going to go ahead and burrow, get his health back up. The blizzard coming out to help zone for him. And they are looking at clearing up those sappers. They have gotten one taken off there. Still 3 left here that could potentially walk in to end this game if they don't stop them. There's Viking getting the stun onto the Stukov. The sappers are walking in here. They are able to clear them out.
Wow.
It was so close, it was hard to tell if they walked in or they died. But they still have 3 shots there.
Oh my gosh.
Face me.
It's so low. Oh. Phoenix is gonna fall. Oh my, this is not good for Roll1. They defended the sappers, but they sacrificed so much to do so, and now Vikings are taking the top tower here, and I believe that Cool Cats and Kittens can just head
oh my
for the boss
goodness,
at this
Cassia's so ballsy trying to get that pick on a May, almost secures it with that surge of light damage, but not quite able to.
Boss call has been announced here, and this will definitely end the game. May's coming in. She recognizes that this is the end. If this gets dropped here, she's going to sacrifice herself, try to make something happen here. She's going to fall next. Here comes Misha. Misha, can you do anything? The 4s. Misha.
This is going to be the boss going over to Cool Cats and Kittens, who will take this series 2-1.
There's a Viking grabbing bottom shrine at the same time, so there really is it's just nothing. Wow.
It is one of those maps where if the map goes in terms of structures too far in someone's favor, there's just so many win conditions at that point because you have a boss to play around, the sappers walking in doing core damage as well as altars. It's a lot to deal with there. So still fairly close up until that point though, 12-16 in kills here. And let's take a look at those talents. Maybe you can talk a little bit about them, and I'm going to reach out to Cool Cats and Kittens and see if they'd like to do an interview.
Yeah, absolutely. The biggest thing, I saw at least was the, Dahaka obviously being super annoying with adaptation, which, I think worked really well for them. I wonder if silence could have come through here and changed these team fights a little bit more potentially. Obviously, Roll1 Esports having a super tanky team with the three bruiser, well, I mean, three triple frontline team with the Rexar, Dahaka, May, but with the kind of silence from Dahaka here, maybe burrowing into the back line, getting a silence on the Chromie, could have stopped a lot of damage, could have swayed a lot of these team fights. I wonder about that. Chromie going with a pretty standard kind of Q build here. Interesting. I guess, Chromie was changed a little bit with this patch. Not as familiar with the new changes, but the biggest thing was the vision wasn't selected at level 1, which was interesting to see.
Yeah, that one was nerfed a bit here, and she had some buffs to her Q talent, so I'm not too surprised to see them go full Q build here on the Chromie. But yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see if Chromie falls out of the meta and how her builds are going to change after this last patch. Let's jump on over to... Alright, let's go to Lobby 2.
Okay. Of NGS, right?
Of the NGS channel, and we're going to do an interview with Cool Cats and Kittens here.
Oh.
Hello.
Hello. All right, we have Beowulf joining us here. They were playing the Cassie in that last game. What a close series. I mean, I was excited that you guys were bringing it to Towers of Doom for the last game because game number 1 and 2 were just very back and forth and could have gone either way. So I just felt like it was a perfect match to end it off there. How are you feeling after the win?
Feeling real good. That was an intense set. Not gonna lie, that was a nail biter. So feels good, but a little shaky. Yeah.
The reverse sweep.
We try to keep things exciting around here.
It was exciting to cast and watch. You guys played great.
Thank you.
Let's talk about your draft in game number 2. A little bit unconventional with the Garrosh, Tyrael, Zarya, Uther, a lot of frontline coming out there. Is this something you guys have tried running before, or what were your thoughts there around that draft?
Yeah, we've run that before a few times. It's really been something we've had a lot of success with, different parts of it. So, I mean, I was just happy to get to run it today because they fixed the Tyrael bug, so it got unbanned, so we got to run it in its full form. It's just a lot of fun. I think we make our tank player play Garrosh, which is one of his favorites, but we almost all love the characters we get to play in that comp. So it's just a ton of fun every time we pull it out. And I think you got to see exactly how much fun the Vala player has.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, no, we were both kind of a little critical of the comp going in and wondering if it was going to work out for you guys, but you kind of proved us wrong several times in that match.
Yeah, I think my main concern was about the wave clear, and I thought, with it, Vala was sort of the only real wave clear potentially that you guys had, and I thought you guys might fall behind a little bit on rotations, just because you might have to linger in lanes to get the clears, but you guys were so, brawly and, just kind of always looking for the fight, and because of that you were ahead on rotations because somebody was always dead on the other team, so it was really, really exciting.
Yeah, I won't lie, it's normally more of a 2-lane map composition for us, but we don't mind whipping it out on Tomb. Tomb is small enough that your 4-man can cover the rotations that Tyrael lacks with the wave clear. So we like it. It's a lot of fun and versatile enough to squeeze out a win, even if this win was a little tighter than we like to see, at least in game 2.
Yeah.
Let's talk about any scouting that maybe might have happened here before you got into tonight's series. We're pretty early on in NGS season, but some of these teams have been playing for more than just season 11 of NGS. So how familiar were you with Roll1Esports?
Well, they do have a large body of work to look at from their previous seasons. But I was mostly looking at just this season. I'm a big believer in recency. You know, you can go and look at my profile, and I've got characters up over level 20 that I haven't played in a long time. So I like to see what is hype right now. So I only had really one match to work with where they kind of had a dominating victory. So drawing info from that was a little rough, and I think that was reflected in us not catching the Sonya ban for the first game. That was just an incredible power pick that really did some work. So scouting maybe not as much as I could have done, but it worked out.
Now we saw the Tychus ban coming out all 3 games for you guys. Was that something you scouted, or is that just because you don't want to play against a Tychus just in this meta right now?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. That was the fruit of the scouting. I was like, well, they played Tychus twice. They won with it twice. There you go. Banning that. In addition, Tychus is just really strong in the meta right now, especially because of the pressure he can put on tank players. So the ability to melt your front line is something that disrupts a lot of strategies, and particularly in game 2. Even that was going to be a Tychus ban no matter what. You know, don't want to run the Garrosh front line into that % shred. So we just find it to be a nigh universal ban, and if somebody has demonstrated that they are particularly excellent on it, as Roll1 did, there's no reason for us not to ban it over and over again.
Which one of you guys is the Hanzo player? Because Roll1 seemed very concerned with Hanzo.
That's me.
That's you, okay.
That made me sad. Hanzo's a lot of fun to play.
Sad we didn't get to see your Hanzo. Maybe next time.
Yep. Fingers crossed, you know, tell the teams. No need to ban Hanzo. He's only level 10. I haven't played him very much at all. Don't worry about it.
We'll let him know.
All right. Any last questions you want to throw out there, Coffee, before we get into some shout-outs here?
Yeah, I guess can you just maybe discuss the last draft a little bit? Lost Vikings is always such a fun hero to watch play. To micromanage, the 3 Vikings is hard to do, but the payoff is always exciting to watch. But is Vikings something that Crazy for Haruno has been practicing? Is it just like a comfort pick, or is it something you guys specifically wanted to kind of use on towers?
Yeah, it's definitely something that Crazy plays. I think you saw that they banned it out for us, I think, in one of the other games here as well. He's got a lot of experience on it, and maybe it's the StarCraft 2 time, who's to say, but he can definitely make it work, and it really brings a lot of versatility to our drafts. So it was definitely a planned factor, and something we were a little worried they were going to ban on us again. So it was nice to be able to whip that out on towers.
Yeah, you guys had such a strong 4-man that really let him kind of run wild. And I glanced top lane at one point. He had all 3 Vikings there basically just owning Dahaka. Like Dahaka was like 5 HP, having to run for his life. It was really a blast to get you guys run that, see you guys run that comp.
Oh yeah, I got more Q stacks on Cassia than I think I've ever gotten in my life. So that was a ton of fun. Don't nerf Cassia, Blizzard. Totally reasonable hero, normal amounts of damage.
Let's get into some shout outs here and wrap up this evening. Yeah, who do you want to shout out to end this up?
As always, gotta shout out my team. Really great stuff this season. Haven't lost a match yet. We did drop our first game, but I'll attribute that to Roll1 just being amazing. But it's been incredible, and they've really done a great job this season. I'm really proud to be their captain. So shout out to the cool cats and kittens. Got to shout out our fan club too, Haruno in particular, #1 fan. Anyone else out there that came to see the cool cats and kittens, thank you for showing up. It's always a pleasure. And last shout outs to the casters. You guys make this the experience that it is, and make it fun for everyone who's not playing the game. So really wouldn't be happening without you guys and the rest of the NGS family. So shout out to all of you guys.
Well, our pleasure. Have yourselves a wonderful rest of the evening, and good luck in season 11 of NGS. I can't wait to see where your team goes.
All right.
All right.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you so much. Have a good night.
All right, let's get Coffee back up here to end things off.
Hello again.
All right. So before we just take off here, where can people find you, Coffee? What have you been up to these days? I know you have some big life changes about to happen.
Yeah, no, not a big deal. I mean, there's going to be a new human entering this world in a couple weeks. So aside from that, it's all fine. But yeah, I'm about to be a new dad in a couple weeks here, and I'm very excited and scared and anxious, but mostly just overwhelmingly excited. So I don't know. I'm not really making any content right now. I mean, my content is, I guess, a child that that I've created. But we'll see what comes of that. But if you want to check me out or hang out with me, still the same socials. It's at CoffeeClub_TV on pretty much anything. And I'd like to make new friends if you want to just say hi. But yeah, I'm not really making any content whatsoever. So this is sort of my outlet to get to play some HOTS and hang out with you here, Jazzy, and have a blast doing this.
Well, I always love having you on to cast with me. In terms of what I have going on, if you enjoy Casted Heroes the Storm, make sure you follow this channel because that's pretty much all I do these days. Now, there's probably a lot of new faces in here from these raids tonight, but I cast usually 5 times a week, so lots of HOTS casted content happening over here. I'll be back again tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific time if you want to come check that out. But until then, stay safe out there. I'm going to send you on over to Goon from Wildheart. He's doing some VOD reviews, and I always like watching him do those VOD reviews because he gives a lot of information and knowledge in terms of how to play the game. So I think you guys can probably pick up some pointers and tips over there. And he's just all around a great guy. So we'll send you on over to Goon. Have yourselves a fantastic rest of the evening. And I hope to see you again tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific time.
Really quick, Goon he like got me into HOTS. He was
really?
On my chair league team like 4 years ago or something. It's so funny.
No way.
It's great to see him just continue with his passion, and I love watching his team, so it's pretty rad.
Yeah, he's such a genuine guy. I really, really like him. So make sure you drop him a follow right now because he has a lot of knowledge to share with us all here in these VOD reviews. Catch you again tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Coffee, once again, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'll see you again on Saturday. Coffee's going to join me on Saturday at 3 p.m. for cast then. So until then, have a fantastic
I'll have my camera
time.
fixed by then.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Jazzy.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a good night.